Hi guys, I'm back with a basic dip powder mini using Beetles dip powder. Now, I did purchase another kit off of Amazon, and this kit was a little better in my opinion. So it came with a standard file, which I like those files by the way, a nail brush, and a cuticle pusher. And the kit came with 6 colors. Now, my last Beatles video was a few months ago. I guess that's when they was first diving into dip powder, and it came with an instruction booklet. And the 6 colors this time, the first set they were not labeled, but to my surprise, these dip powders were actually labeled. So I like that. I'll give them a thumbs up for that. Also, so those are the colors that I swatched there. They swatch beautifully. And I can't remember if I used the Beatles dip liquids to swatch or if I used other liquids. I don't remember. But I digress. So again, here are the swatches: beautiful blues, grays. I love blue. It's one of my favorite colors. And then the dip liquids, it came with top coat, base, activator, and brush saver. Last time the kit came with 2 top coats, and I couldn't figure out why. The bottles remain the same. So again, I'm not impressed with the bottles because they're lightweight. But as far as price point goes, I did purchase this kit off of Amazon. I paid $35.99 for them, and I saved $10. Well, I actually saved $10 with a coupon. So let's get started. Okay, so I did my regular nail prep. I applied OPI nail strengthener because I did not want to buff my natural nails. And I'm just going in and cleaning my nails with alcohol, even though I always wash my hands and sanitize my hands before I start any dip powder application. So with this, I will be using all Beetles products. So except for the OPI nail strengthener. So the colors I'm going to use is that nice blue bottle. The jars aren't full. I kind of found that strange, but I wasn't too mad about it because I was like, there's no way I can use all of these, all this dip powder that I have accumulated in my collection. But it was a nice blue. And then the other one was a nice glitter shade, and I did, and I'm using a pipette to apply. So I'm not mad at Beetles liquids. This go round, they applied rather nicely. I did not run into any issues at all. So we're just going to go through this dip powder application. Standard dip powder, nothing fancy. I also will do a 2-week update at the end of this video to show you how the dip powder application wore after 2-week time frame, especially with the OPI nail strengthener on. When you are applying your base, you want to make sure that you try to keep the layers as thin as possible. And after I applied the dip powder, of course, you want to tap off the excess. And then you can use an orange wood stick, a toothpick, the smallest end of a dotting tool, a water marbling tool, just to run along your cuticle area to remove any excess dip powder. That will also help with fouling and buffing and to retain the shape of your overall mani. Doesn't turn out all the time great for me, and when you do that, you also want to pat any areas down that have lifted. And I try to pat my I don't try, actually most of the time I will pat the dip powder down. To me, it helps keep the application thin. It's not necessary, it's just something that I choose to do. So y'all listen, that little brush is so flimsy. I was just not impressed. It was not fluffy. It was just as flat as it could be. I mean, it got the job done, but you know, Not with the brush. So I'm going in with the second coat of that color, and you see me putting down a paper towel here because before I stick my base brush back into the bottle, I'm going to wipe it off on the paper towel to avoid getting any possible dip powder that's on my nail into my base and possibly contaminating that. I haven't had any issues so far. I think I may have contaminated one bottle of like some S&S base that I had, but overall when I do this, I haven't so far ran into any issues with my base. Now guys, that blue, I think it's just so pretty. It reminds me of the sky, and I live in North Carolina, so that's a nice Carolina blue color. And I'm not a sports fan, I just like a nice pretty blue sky, and I know the Tar Heels, that's their color there. So really nice blue shade, and again, I'm just dusting off any excess. The base dried, it didn't dry too quick, but it dried fairly quickly. I was able to get the job done. So I'm going in with this glitter, and y'all, another jar not full, that's okay. So I'm just stirring the powder to loosen, or shaking it, or I actually do stir it up, Lord Jesus. But I'm going in with the glitter. Oh, that glitter was so pretty to me. And I end up only doing one coat of the glitter. It was full coverage in one coat. Now it probably would have been even prettier had I done a second coat of the glitter. And don't use a pipette with glitter, you just want to lay your finger flat. But you can see it's just sparkly, it's nice and pretty, and I was like, ooh, I just fell in love with that glitter color. So I didn't think I needed a second coat. I think had I done a second coat, it would have been harder to remove, or had more to file to remove. So I just go in with the second coat, one coat of the glitter, full coverage, and then I'm going to go in and apply clear on top of that. And I do have Beetles clear dip powder as well. I just take what I tapped off in the cap and I toss that in the trash before I put it back on the jar. So I'm going in with a toothbrush this time to get off as much of that clear that's just kind of sitting on top of the nails as possible. I don't always use a toothbrush, but I found that that works the best. That's a medium bristle that I use kind of at the end of my mani. So I'm going in with the Beetles activator, and I'm going to apply that 2 coats of that to my nails. And the bottles are labeled, so I don't even know why I was looking at the bottle itself. It has a number 2 on the top. I guess I just wanted to make sure. And with the activator, I always like to wipe that activator brush off on a lint-free paper towel or a lint-free wipe there to avoid getting any color in the activator and staining that. But I didn't really have to worry about that because I did have a layer of clear on there. I'm just taking an alcohol swab and wiping off the rim of my base bottle to keep that from sticking. Hopefully it'll keep it from sticking. So guys, I've done my filing and buffing. I didn't have a whole lot to do. That file that 180 grit file worked great. So I'm going in with another coat of activator, and I'm going to apply that to all nails because I will be using the Beetles dip powder top coat. So I will be using that, and you want to apply activator before you do the dip top coat because that will allow that top coat to dry nice and shiny. So looking at the instructions, I did my filing and buffing, and so here it says apply another coat of activator and allow 30 seconds for it to dry completely. So I did that. And I'm going in, sorry for the smacking and stuff. I'm going in with a lint-free wipe. It's a little bigger. I love those things. They're disposable. I got them off Amazon. And I'm just rubbing that activator in and getting off any excess before I go in with the dip powder top coat. So when you are applying top coat, you want to go in 3 quick swipes across the nail before you stick it back in the bottle. You want to wipe it off in a lint-free paper towel. So I'm just going in. The first coat, actually that base was loaded, so I was able to do 3 nails before I stuck it back in there. The first coat, you don't have to worry about trying to get it over all of your nails because that's what the second coat of top coat is for. That's to make sure that you get every area of the nail covered, and you can be more purposeful with the second dip powder top coat application. So I'm going in and doing the same thing to my top coat bottle, wiping that with the alcohol swab before I close that back up. So guys, here is the finished look. Nails dried perfect. They were nice and shiny. I love it. Love the color. Love the mani. You guys will have to let me know what you think. But before you go, I have an update for you with the wear of this mani. So it is approximately 14 days later, and There's no chipping. The nails have grown out. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I do have some lifting on some of my nails. My thumb, you can see there's lifting there. And again, you don't want to pick it off. You still want to soak it off. So I do have some lifting in the cuticle area on my thumb. My index finger was great. Middle finger, great. My ring finger, a little lifting there. And my pinky was good. So I hope you guys like it. I think this kit, they did better. Beetles, good job. I will be using this again. Hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.